drop a like and do share. Leave your comments and do not forget to subscribe for more videos.
Welcome to SAP UI5 training session. In this session, we will see how a Fiori-like application look like. So how Fiori-like application look like is, we have a master and detail page. So that is for the mobile application. So what we do is, we'll be developing Fiori-like application. So how the Fiori-like application look like is, we'll see. So we are going to build a Fiori-like application. So this is a Fiori-like application. How are you going to build? So first, we'll be developing the architecture. So this is how the Fiori-like application look like. So it will be a master and detail page. This is a master, sales order and a detail page. So we will see this now. So this is what. So what we're going to do now is, first we'll create a new project, and then after creating a new project, you have to press SAP UI5 application, and then after pressing on UI5 application, you have to write my Fiori, and the target audience is mobile, and then you have to finish it, and you have to code in web content. This is what it is. So we'll see that now. So we'll go to Eclipse. So once we go to Eclipse, we'll close all the tabs and we'll create a new application. So how to create new project, and in this project SAP UI5 application, and inside this press target audiences, and I don't want to create any initial view, and I want to name it Fiori my Fiori app, and I'm going to say finish. Once I finish, I'll get an empty index.html page. Once I get index.html page, then I already have a project that we will be sharing with you. So you'll be going here, and here I'll be sharing this Fiori, 10 Fiori like projects. I'll be clicking on it. Once I click on it, I'll get this many files. So what I do is, I'll copy all this and I'll go to our Eclipse. In this Eclipse, inside web content, by clicking on web content, pasting it. Right click. Once you right click, you'll get the options. Once you get an options, so you can paste it, but the paste is not available. So once you get options, the paste is not available. So you can use Ctrl+V. So once I do Ctrl+V, also it is not coming up. So what I do is, I'll copy once again like this, copy, go, to the Eclipse and do this same way. Yeah. Now it is coming. Okay. So S to all I have to do because I want to override the index.html page. So once I do S to all, this is copied. Now, so your application is my Fiori. So this is sapui.demo.myfiori. So here you have to give a title. So my Fiori sample, my Fiori master detail. So in Fiori we have two types of templates. One is full screen, one is master detail. So now what we are using is master detail. So master detail is nothing but we have a master page and a detail page. So we are using my Fiori master detail. So in this we have a script. So this is nothing but bootstrapping. So once the bootstrapping is there, we'll give ID, src, and the theme always the blue crystal because it is mobile application. So once a data SAP UI-libs, I'm including libraries over here, sap.m, and then I'm including a layout. And then I'm using a data.sap-ui. This is used. This is used for formatters. So usually data SAP UI access binding syntax is equal to complex. That means the formatters will be used inside this. So data-sap-ui resource roots. So this is one way of declaring your resources folder. So this means it will navigate to web content. So the name what we are giving is SAPUI demo.myfiori. And then colon this. So once we do this, we'll have a script. Inside the script, we are taking a shell. So once we take a shell, that is sap.m.shell we are using. So in this, we are using app container. So once we do use app inside shell, we can have app. So in this app property, we are creating an object called component container. So what we are trying to say here is, please search for component, which is SAP UI core component container. My container contains in the name of sapui.demo.myfiori. So when we say sapui.demo.myfiori, whenever we use, it will be navigating to this. So this means web content. So what sapui.demo.myfiori means now? It is web content. So this line of code will navigate to sapui.demo.myfiori and it will search for component. So it will go here and it will search for component. So where is the component file? Here it is. It will search. And it is going to place this component at content. So this content ID and this content ID matches. Should match every time. So now your code, you made changes, you save it, index.html. Next, it will go to component.js. Once it goes to component.js, we are declaring this component.js, SAP jQuery.sap.declare. In this, sap.ui.demo.myfiori.component we are doing, and below this we are adding This is a component. So what we are trying to do is we are extending component. So we are extending component in the sense there is already a component folder. So we are trying to extend it. So now we are core. So if you have seen in controllers, we will be using SAPUI.core.controller and we got control.extend. So we will be extending a standard control. That means we are creating our own control. When we extend a standard control, then we are creating our own control. Similarly, here when we are trying to say this sap.ui.core.ui component.extend, here we are creating our own component. So that component we are naming it as sapui.demo.myfiori.component. Clear? Now SAP component we are creating content. So how do we create content? It's function. We will be writing a function, and inside this we'll write our code. So now we are creating a view, a sample view. So how we are creating a view? OView equal to sapui.view, and inside this we have an ID, that is app, and we are creating a view name, that is sapui.demo.myfiori. That means it refers to web content, and inside web content it will search for view folder and it will go to app. So here view folder, when we extract, there is an app. So this line of code gives you an ID and it will check which type it is, and it will go to a view data, and we are trying to say the view data, we are sending an additional data, this component, because we want to access, we want to have control about this component in this app. That's the reason we are sending it all this in a variable. So here we are creating ID, here we are saying which view you have to go, and we are declaring the type so that it will check view.app.view.js. This file it will check. That is clear. But to this file app.view.js, we are sending component. We are sending this component controls so that we can control our application through app.view.js. Why we are doing it is because we want to control it from the app. And here we just declare our resource bundles and models. So in this, next, we will be creating a var set I18 model, and we are giving a name, and inside this name we are giving a bundle URL, and that is I18n bundle properties. That means it will check this I18, and here it will go message bundle.properties. So this I'm setting it as an I18 model. So whenever I use I18n model, then it means I'm making use of this message bundle. So what this message bundle is about, we'll click on this. So we have a master title, detail title, status n, like this. We have different types of text. See how this is written, all this detail title, and like this. So I told you everyone has their own way of writing it. So every company follows one I18 and wiki. So that wiki says how to write this file. So that once you follow that wiki, then write this file, then it will be easy for the translators who translate this. That company will follow some standards, so they will be understanding, okay, if you have written the master title like this, then it means it's master title. So he has to change the text to their own way, whatever language it is. So we got the resource bundle now, and once we get the resource bundle, what we're trying to do is we'll be loading the model now. So what we're trying to draw the model is var model, and we'll give the name to this model SAPUI model.json.json model, and then we'll directly call the URL. So this means it will go to model and it will search for mock.json and it will set to this view. Now after this, what I'm trying to do, now I'm getting the device model. So what I'm trying to do now is, okay, first now I have set a resource bundle for text translation. Next, complete model, what my application need, data mock.json, we have done it. And the next is phone. So we're going to do is phone. So means, so we are creating a custom model. So in this custom model, what I'm trying to do is I'm getting the text whether is phone, or if is phone, what are the list mode or list item type. So why do we need this is I'm handling something inside the application where I want a list mode and list item type depending on the device, whether this phone is tablet or whatever the device you are using is tablet, or it's desktop, or it's it is something else. So it is phone. So that's what we're gonna see. So once we get which device we are using, then we are handling this list mode and list item type. So if it is phone, then do nothing, then single select master. Or if item is phone, then active, if not, inactive. So this we'll see when we run the application in phone. Then this device, we are setting it for only one way. So as we know, there are two ways of modeling. One is one-way modeling, one-way binding, and another one is two-way binding. So once we set this model to one way, why? Because usually JSON is two-way modeling. So once we set this model to one way, whenever we make any change, that will not affect this model. This model will not be updated. So what we do is now we're gonna set this to one way, and we're gonna set the model with the named model device, and then we are returning it. So now this returns app view. So it will go to now app view.js. Once we go to app view.js, it is SAPUI.js view. This is how we create app. So then it will go to SAPUI.demo.myfiori.view.app, and then we'll be getting a control. So that control is SAPUI.demo.myfiori.view.app. So this means it will go to web content.view, and then it will search for app controller. So it will go to controller. So we'll see view first. And what I'm trying to do in view is, so in this view, I'm creating content. So in this content, I'm just setting this setback block is true. Why I'm doing this? Because To avoid scroll bars on desktop, and then we are creating a Splitup. There's a difference between a Splitup and an app. There's a difference between Splitup and app. So Splitup as by default two master and detail pages. It displays separately, and when it app has a first ever whatever you take the page that will act as a master page. So we'll see the difference between app and Splitup is we'll go to this source model and we'll say API reference m.splitup. We'll see Splitup now and you'll see the difference. So in this Splitup, what we have is Splitup is another root element of UI5 mobile application. So what it does is it maintains two nav containers if it is running on tablet or it is running on phone. So we can easily have a behavior, or it will be easy for us to understand if it is a phone navigation or it is a tablet navigation. So this has two different nav containers. So when we displaying the master, that time it will be useful. If it is portrait or landscape or device, Splitup mode will be doing the auto adjustment. When it comes to app, it will not, this runs as a two nav container, so two navigations will be there. So depends like if the tablet navigation or phone navigation. When it comes to app, it doesn't have that. So once you go there, so this have and provides a navigation properties. That's it. So it doesn't have any containers, nav containers. Okay, that is the difference. So that's the reason it's better to use Splitup. So in this Splitup, I'm using a master page and a detail page. By default, I'm having an empty detail page and a master page. So once I have a master page ready, so I'll give the URL here, SAPUI.xml view. So I'm taking all XML views in this project except appview.js. So master, and then I'm giving the path where the master view is located. So where the master view is located, that is in this folder master with the master name. So I'm getting a master get controller of this controller, and then I'm putting a nav, that is an object, to this dot get controller. So what I'm trying to do is the navigation, because master to master, detail to detail, the navigation is done inside this dot get control. So what this navigation is, once we run this project, we'll come to know. First we'll run this project. So we'll go to run as, run on server, so that it will be clear what we are trying to do here. So till now we have understood the basic Splitup. We have taken a Splitup. Inside the Splitup we are doing a master and detail page navigation, and we are displaying that. Now, yeah, so this is our this is our my Fiori master detail page. So this is a list of detail pages. This is how the application look like. So once you click on any of this. So once you see, the search also works. So 01 when you do, so here it comes like this. See, close. This is what the behavior. This is called the master page. And once you click on this, see the detail page name didn't come still because it is an empty first, then the sales order. Okay, this has certain information. Okay, this is what the navigation is. So initially what we are trying to do is we are loading the master page. So in this master page, we are copying the components controller into this nav, so that it can be navigated from master to detail and detail to master. So I'm adding a page now called master. That is true. So once it's true, it is means default use this master. So other pages will be doing false. This app need to understand which one is the master and which one is not a master. So this .app, that means Splitup, I'm adding pages. How do you add? Add page like this. And then I'm adding an empty page. So how do you gonna add empty page? So SAPUI.xml view and give the name of that. And then you say SAPUI.demo.myfiori.view.empty. And then say this.app.add page empty and it's false. So it will go to SAP view.xml and then it will display and this app will be displayed. So till app view.js we have seen. Now it will go to controller. So once you go to controller, we have something called to and back. So what is this means? We are doing a navigation. So we are handling whenever you say to, whenever you say nav to or nav. See, we have something called here nav. Okay, whenever we use a nav to, what need to be done? We are trying to say. And whenever we are trying to say, whenever we say nav back, what need to be done? So these are the functions written. For the to, what I'm trying to take is I'm taking a page ID, whether it's a detail, master or any navigation. And then I'll taking a context. Based on that context, I'm updating. So in this app, I'm getting this.view.app. That means app, Splitup. So if it is master page, then master page will be true. That is what it means. So then this whatever app.getID, we are getting the page, whether the app is master or anything else. So here this line we are checking whether the page which we are navigating is master or not. Then if it is master, then we are navigating to, sorry, if it is not master, we are navigating to that detail page, because we have only one master, but we have in this page, in this application, we have two detail pages. So you can say this app is split up with two detail pages. And we can have a split app with one detail page as well. Earlier we have seen that example as well. So this page dot get controller, again we are trying to say this page as this controller. So, and we are adding page. So we are adding a new page because by default we have added master and one empty page. But if it has a more detailed pages, that time we are trying to add this. So now once we add a new page, we are displaying which page we are loading. So it is just a information, we are just storing it in a jQuery log. So app controller loading page. So it will be loaded. Alright. Once it is loaded, then we'll be going to a page ID. So this will navigate to the page ID. So if the context, because we are sending the context also, because we have to send the context, because when we see the application, see when we say 3 so many zeros and 97, and then we are changing, every time we are changing the data. See, it's Delmont Industries name and here header date information. So we call this is as an header information, this is as an additional information, and this is a table. And once the table is there, we'll have a navigation to a different page. And then we are using a back button like this. It works. So each master click, we have a separate context. So that's context we are going to send every time. So we'll go here. And then after this, what we're trying to do is, once it is a context, so we are setting the context to the page. That is what we are doing in these two lines. Then once we click on back, when we run the application, there is no back button here now, but there is back over here. Here we have back. So once we click on this back, here it is coming. How it is coming? It is going to this particular function and it is getting the ID, whatever it is. So please go to the previous ID which we already used it. So in this, history will be there. So that back to page will go to that particular page which was opened before that. So this logic will not work when we have 10 different of navigation, 10 different detail pages. If it is only 2 pages, that's fine. But based on this, based on this content, if you want to navigate to somewhere else, and once we click on back, it has to come here. So that time this is possible, but handling the routes, see, the handling the routes will be a problem. That time you have to use a routing concept. Okay, this is for a simple application. We do a back. So there is a separate concept called routing that has explained. So you can go through that routing. Based on routing, you can have the logic here. Okay. So now we have finished the app view and JS. Now once we'll see the empty view.xml also. This has nothing data. It's an empty page. Now we'll go to master. So we'll close all and now we'll go to a master. Because we have included a master and empty page. So empty page we have seen that is empty, nothing else inside this. So it will go to master.view.xml. So in this we have given a controller name, that is master controller. So once we have master controller, we are giving a namespaces and we are giving a page with the title. So this title will be coming from I18 file. And then once we click on any of this search, we are handling search over here. So there will be a handle search method. And then we are writing a width for 100%. So it will take a full 100%. And then we are using a list inside this master page. So whatever data we are displaying, that is based on this list. So list with an ID, and then I'm giving a mode. So based on this mode, whether it is a mobile mode or tablet mode or a desktop, based on that I'm setting up the width. So once we go to list view, we'll go to a list. We have seen the list. So how do we list this? We have a mode for that, and we have a select option. Once you select any of the master list item, then it will go to a handle list select. And then what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to load this slash sales order collection. So where it is coming from, it is coming from this model, the mock.json. In this mock.json, we have sales order collection. This is nothing but entity set. So this entity set, we are binding it to here, items, list items. So aggregation is items. So we have this. And we are setting up a list item. So in this list, we can use a list item, object list item. So why we are using object list item? We want to display that thing. And when we talk about Fiori templates, all these Fiori templates use object list item in the master. And when it comes to detail, they use m.page only. Inside that page, they use the object headers for all header information. For the detail pages, they use tabs. So here the type I'm deciding based on the list item type. So that means based on the device, this type will be decided. Then we have a press. So once we press any of the list item, we are handling it with the list item. So when we do a title, we are binding it SOID, and when it's number, and we are hiding it with the gross amount, and then number unit property, we are binding the model property called currency code. So in this we have attributes first status, second status. So for this first attribute, why are we using this with? So first we want to display the name to this unit and number, then the first header, second header, and whether the state will be decided. So here the buyer's name, so it will come below that. And then we have first status. So based on this first status, the state will be decided. So we have using formatter for this, and we are passing the model path called lifecycle status. Based on this status, the display is going on. So this is how we create a list, and then we have a footer. So in this footer we have a group select. So this will not worry about much. We will not do this because this one we discussed in sorters and grouping. Okay, so we have discussed this in sorting, so we'll not worry about this now. Now we'll save this and we'll see what the controller is doing now. So once the controller is loaded, it will be loaded with this files, by default files, that is formatter and a grouper. And where is this formatter and grouper located? It is inside the util folder. Where is this util folder? Here. So we have a formatter and a grouper. So what these two files are doing is, because we are not using any grouping, so we'll not worry about the grouping now. So we'll be creating the formatter. So in this formatter we have certain things. So based on the status text, we are doing some operation here. So what operation we are doing it, we'll be seeing in a realistic way. So we'll put a breakpoint, and what this each line is doing and what it is returning will be seeing practically. But theoretically, like, we'll read one by one line. So this bundle will get the resource bundle instance. Once it gets the instance of resource bundle, it will get the text of the status text and it will add the value. So it will be status text slash whatever the value we get it from the status text. It is P or N or something. So it will get So we'll be going to a resource bundle. So that is in I18 file. So here is text 6. See, N, P or something, that name will be displayed. It is in process or new. Okay, based on this. So we'll go to formatter. Next is status state. So status state is nothing but error, etc. Right? So it's based on that. This one. So here what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get the instance of this formatter only. I'm calling this one of the formatters function. That is this function. I'm adding a P or N based on the value. So value is, here we got P. If it is P, then it will come here and then it will be going now. It will be going to this function map of value. Map of this. If it is P, then it will come success. If it is N, it comes as 1 here. The value is P and this map success, then it will declare success. If its value is something else and this doesn't have any value, then this will be a false, then this returns in none. That's what it means. So next function, that is date function. So we are using SAPUI.code.format.date format. So while we are using this, that's the reason what we are trying to do is we are trying to load it this. So what are you using external libraries, you have to load it first, then you can make use of that. So this is a date function. So date function, if value, then we are creating O date format. So in this format we are deciding which pattern we want to use. It is YYYMMDD. This is how we do a formatting, date formatting. So return O format, this instance we are taking and we are formatting a new value. So whatever the date value we are getting, we are formatting in this way. So where it is displaying, we will be seeing in the application. See where we are using date, here we are using date. That is in detail page. So we haven't seen detail page, that's the reason we didn't see the formatter, but we have seen the status test state. And then the next function is quantity. So how this quantity works is function value, and once you get the value, you're trying to return the value with a no zeros. So the value whatever it is, you're fixed to 0 whenever you use this. Fixed to 0 and value you're giving. It's not a number. Okay, we can say NaN also. NaN is nothing but not a number. Whenever you see NaN, it is not a number. Okay, this is a formatter. So we have seen formatter and we have seen master controller. Formatter. So we are still here. So now the next is we have to declare the master view. Now we have different functions. We are making use of those functions and we are writing what we have to do. So we'll not worry about a grouping because grouping we have discussed separately in sorting and filtering. So we are concentrating more on how the master and detail page navigates with two detail pages. So we have handle list item press here, and then handle list item press will do context. So when we do a context, we are getting a source.get binding context. So we are getting the context of the master click, whatever we are clicking on the master page, that particular context we are getting, and that context we are navigating to the detail page, and to this detail page we are sending the context. So that's how the context will be receiving. Then we are doing a handle search. So whenever we search something, we are using a filter operation. So this is how the filters can be integrated in any of the application. So I'm taking an empty filter. This is nothing but a filter array. I'm passing a query, whatever you type in the search bar here, whatever you type, that we are fetching it here in this query, and if query is more than 0, then please perform this filter. So we are putting a filter on this SOID. So SOID is nothing but our master view property, one of the properties. So to that we are placing the container, and once we are placing the container, we are pushing it, the filter. So this is only one filter, that's the reason we are not doing it, but if it is more than one, we can do it. Okay, any of the filters with more than one, we can use these filters. And the next what we are trying to do is we are updating the list. We have to update the list, right? So once the filter is done, we'll be updating the list. And we'll be binding those items to the list like this. And then whenever this is also one and the same, when we select this acts as similarly like this item press, and this is select. So when we use it in the mobile, then this function will be called for mobile. For mobile, this is press. For desktop and tablet, it is select. And then we'll move on. The handle group we are not using, that is for the grouping. Not worry about the grouping. See, this grouping is come right. Once you refresh the page. The grouping is going on, went off. Okay, so now we have cleared now. So we know what is happening in the master page and what is the search button works. And then once we click on here and we are navigating to this, so we are now will see a detail page, and then we'll see once we click on any of the list here, column list, it is navigating to this separate page, product. These are the sales order and these are the products, and once we click on the product, it is navigating to a product page. So we'll go. So there is an approve button also, sorry, there is an approve button, and we'll go to this. Now how it is working is we have saved in the master controller, we have set to detail, so it will go to detail. So it will go to detail page. So detail view. So how the detail view is working? So this is a detail page. So detail page, and detail page has a controller. So to this detail page, what we are trying to do is we are giving a controller name. So this is how we give a controller name: SAPUI.demo.myfiori.view.detail. That is a controller name, and to this controller name we are placing a namespace, that is sap.m, and to this m we are taking a form here, sap.ui.layout.form, and then we are using this sap.ui.core, and in this page we are creating a title. So this title we are fetching it from the properties file, the message bundle.properties, and the class we are using the class for this, and the nav button is for nav button is true or false, it will depend on the phone. We'll see how this is applying. So we'll go to this. Once we once we minimize this, or once again I'll show you how this works. So in this, what we try to do is we have to go to F12, as we discussed, how to open the mobile, check the mobile, you will see us seeing. So you have to click on here and you have to select your device. I'll select iPhone 6, and then after selecting the iPhone 6 I'll be refreshing my Fiori. Okay, once I do this, I just want to navigate for your purpose because I wanted to show. So once you see this, you'll not see any back button because this is a master page. Once you click on this master page, there's a nav back button. So we want this to be displayed. But when it comes to a mobile, normal Fiori. So when we say Fiori, this is a Fiori app. Once I clear this, see here there is no back button. Once you click on this, here there is no back button. So here in mobile, we are trying to display this because we want to navigate to a master page. So this is how to mobile. That's the reason we are using it. Okay, I'm removing this now. I'm going to refresh this. So yeah, this is what. So that's the reason we are using show nav button. there. So when it is mobile, then we'll display the nav button. So once we do the nav button, then when we press on that nav button, we are going to one function event. So we are handling the events there. So we are handling the events there. So once we handle the events there, we'll be going to title. So SOID, and we are giving a header number and unit. Similarly, what we have used in the master list, similarly we are using object header. So in this object header, we have different attributes, object attributes, and the text bias name, created by model property. We are binding it, and we are setting up the formatter date. So here we are doing the date operation. Okay, so and we are trying to do a first status and then object status. So object status is nothing but the text, and then we are declaring the state depending on that object. Similarly, what we have done it in the master, we are just carrying forwarding it. Why? Because when you open this application in mobile, so your edit data will be hidden. So we want to have relation between the master and detail page. That's the reason we will be carrying forwarding it into the detail page. So then we have an icon tab bar. So once we have an icon tab bar, so in this we have expanded. So in this expanded, we'll be saying if it is device, then expand it. If not, no. So expanded true or false will be depending on the device. So then items. So once we have items, so we have aggregation. Inside this we have an icon tab filter. So we have one tab for now. If you have multiple tabs, you can have a tab filters, like multiple, like one we have. So like this we have many, like that you can have. So in this icon tab filter, what I have placed is, I have placed a simple form saying that text so and so form, and I'm giving an address. So what is the address? Like title I'm giving, a label and a text, and the label like this. So address, name, company name, city, the postal code, street, and street name. So like this we have displaying a form. Then we are taking a table. So in this table we are getting the text from the I18 file here, and we are doing items, line items, we are aggregating. So we are doing columns for each. So column names, like we are giving header, product, and next one is delivery date, next is quantity, and next is price. We are taking. Now the next is navigation. So type is navigation we are including. When we include this type navigation, what it shows is, this means there will be some navigation. So you have seen this. So this is what the navigation is. So when you say type navigation, then it will search for type navigation, and it will search for a function which we give the navigation function, that is press. So once you press that, your handle line press will be displayed. Then inside this we have cells. So we have text, we have the object identifier, and we have the delivery date, quantity, and gross amount. So we have applying a filter to everything, formatter also, then in the footer we are putting an accept button. So once you accept it, and will approve. So there are a few functions we are be handling it in controller, detail controller.js. So when we say handle approve, so what is happening is this. So we'll go there. First we will be including the formatter because we are using a formatter inside it, and this is for the external things which we are using. Why? Because we are using a SAP message box and message stores to display something. Where we are using, we'll see the inside the project. So when we press handle nav back press in the phone, it will go to the master page. That's back master. So before rendering, we are setting up the form to the bind element business partner. Okay, this is how we are handling it. On before event, we are handling the business partner binding. So address which we are seeing is a business partner. And then when you press on handle approve, that time we are getting a bundle, and see here we are using a message box, confirmation box we are using. So in this confirmation box, we are setting a text called approve dialog message. So once we do any action, if it is okay, so confirm button will come with okay and close. So once we say okay, then it will notify. So we don't have any logic now because it is a sample data, so we don't see any changes. Once it integrates with OData, that time we see a difference. So success message we are displaying, and message toast. So message toast is nothing but we are using message toast. So message box and message toast we are seeing. That is the reason we have included in the beginning. So in the beginning we are using these two libraries. So we are requiring. So that means we are using it. So if you are not using, it's not good to leave that require sap.jquery.require. So we don't want to use this when we are not using this library inside this function. So once we get the bundle, then we are displaying the success message. Next, when we press on handle line item press, so each line item, then we are navigating to a line item .view.js. So this is a controller. So event.get source, .get binding context. So it will go to line item view.xml. So once it is here, it will go to SAP UI.demo.myfiori line item. So in this M, then it is core we are using in the page title, and by default the navigation is true. Doesn't matter, it is mobile or phone, we need a navigation there. So once we press on this, it will go to back. That means detail page. The footer and the content title same like the header. So we are displaying the head, delivery date, and quantity, and we have a formatter for that. So that's it, we are displaying in the line item. So now we got what we have written so far. So we have covered everything. What we have done it, we started with index.html component, then app view, then master, empty, detail page, and line item. So this is how it is, and we go to the function now. So once we click on this, the detail page comes. So how the detail page navigation is handled. We will be seeing that. So once we click on this, it will go to master controller. So this is for the desktop, so it will go here. So once you click on this, it will come here. It will get the context of this. So what is the context of this? Is sales order 00. Then it will go to nav2. So nav2 will be in app controller. In this app controller, it will go to nav2. So once we say okay, it skipped. Okay, see, now it came. Now what it comes, its page ID is detail and the context whatever we have sending. So we are sending the context, right? So we are sending the context. Context is sales order 0 or 1. We are sending this part. Then it will create the instance of the app and then it will check it is a master or detail. Then the master should be false because it's not a master. Okay, then it will create the ID. This detail is already created, so it will get the con and it will set the binding context. That's how this is updated. Suppose for the initial, when you load the app, the master detail should come. It should check which model we are using. If you add a new master page, that time we can have this. So by default, Splitup will take the master and detail pages. Now we'll see the handle search now. So the handle search is happening in master controller. So how the master controller works is here, handle search. So what we are trying to do is we're going to click here. It will go to 2, and when we click on this, it works. Now we're going to search this 3000 or 97 and I click on it. So it will go to handle search. So in this, it will go to the filter, then it will search for the query, whatever you have placed. You have placed this number, then it will search in the filter SOID and it will push the filter to the list, and then list landing will be updated like this. There is no data, so I'll remove 10 here and then I'll press this. So I'll go here, push, 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 push. Now the binding has some data. How many data? It has the list, binding list. Just go here. So for this, there is a list of 12, but there is a filter option will be applied to it. So this filter will be here. Only one filter with this ID. If it contains, then display that only. So it contains, so it displays that. This is how the search takes place. So once you click also, it will update the entire list. Now, once we say approve, so approve is in detail page. So we'll go to detail page, we'll remove the breakpoints. It will be, and we'll have a nav back also, breakpoint. And when we'll go to detail controller, in this detail controller we have a list and we'll approve. Once you click on approve, it will go to here, and what it's trying to do is it will create a confirm button, and once it's okay, it will perform. The sales order has been approved, like that. The message is displayed. And now, when we click on one of the line item, then it is navigating to this page. So now the page is line item. See, line item. So it will look for line item. See, this will look for line item. So it's going to add, because this is not a master. Master is always false because we have only one master in this application. So page ID will be line item. So the view name will be the line item dot view. So it will go to this view and it will create line item. Controller has been already called. Okay, because of this initiation. So this is called initiating a view. And this add page, we are adding the page to the master. And this jQuery info is loaded. Okay. We'll go to source. This is how we are displaying this. And when we press on this, it will go to navback function. So it will get the page ID, that is detail. Because when we are navigating back, we want to navigate to detail. Right. So detail page will be displayed. This is how the detail page is. So this is what the Splitup view is all about. So we'll have a master and detail page. This is how the navigation works for the master and details. So how it is handled? It is handled with to and back buttons. So we have seen the code like this. So this code will be given to you. You can make use of that. So there are 10 examples you can practice how the Fiori works, and with the explanation document I'll be sending you. Thank you for listening. In the next session we'll see other topics. So we haven't seen the formatter. So the formatter is, once we load it, so we'll go to this here, util formatter. So when the success comes, once this comes, we'll see. So how the data is formatted. Okay, so once we refresh it, so we are calling one function in the master. So go here and yeah, run the status text. Status text is P or something, it will come and it will be written with the value. So what this gives is, will be seen. So this will return in progress, in process, like that. So once we got the state value, when it is in process, we are adding P, and then it will go to this particular function again, because we are calling this status P here. It will return some value. So what value it is returning is, so this is return value 1. So that's why then you are seeing the text like that. So only two functions called here. So that is in process is success, new is like this. We have new is new, but there is a slight color change between new and warning. And then we'll see the date formatting. That is very important actually. So once we click on this, it will go here. We'll remove the breakpoint here. We already seen what is happening line by line. And when we click on this, see the date option. So you got the value. So value, see the value. It is null. And once you click on it, the data is text. It's coming. Okay, we'll remove this. We'll see. Yeah, now we see the value. Value is coming up with like this, something else. So we want to add like this, the format. So we're getting the instance and we are formatting. This is how we format. See this OData, just get all this libraries, and then when you say OData format, that will be done to this particular format. So you can change the format to anything else. This is how we use it in SAPUI5. Now we have seen the date. Now we'll see the quantity. The quantity it comes is 2 point so and so so and so. So we are removing all that zeros and we are fixing it to only 2. See, when we override it, that it says only 2. So that what is the original value we are getting? It's 2.30. So 2 point. So here it's 2.30. Now we are placing it here. So now we're gonna run this now. So once we run it, this is what is happening. Okay. Yeah, sorry about that. Like I have missed the formatter logic. This is how the formatting is done. Thank you for listening. And in the next section, we'll be seeing the other topics.